North Korea. North Korea is a country in Northeast Asia. It borders China, Russia, and South Korea. There are wide coastal plains along the west coast, while there is more mountainous areas along the East Sea coastline. Similar to South Korea, dozens of small islands dot the western coast. North Korea is under a dictatorship, one-party state, socialist government, and Juche-based government. Juche self-reliance is the official state ideology of North Korea, with its main ideas being that Koreans are to act as the masters of revolution and construction, and that by becoming self-reliant and strong, a nation like North Korea can achieve true socialism. Before World War II, about 70 years ago, the Korean peninsula was one large Japanese colony. After World War II, the Korean colony was split into two, the south controlled by the U.S. and the north controlled by the Soviet Russia, and they gained their respective independence.
What goods and services should be produced? The goods that are produced in North Korea, such as ore, iron, lead, and coal, are valuable goods since they're their top exports. How should these goods and services be produced? The goods are produced by mining the raw minerals, then getting them processed in work camps or factories. Who consumes these goods and services? 91% of these exported goods go to China. A majority of the other 9% go to Pakistan, India, Ghana, and Mali. The goods that are not exported go to North Korea's people. North Korea has a command economy in which the government, rather than the free market, determines what goods should be produced, how much should be produced, and the price in which the goods are offered at sale. North Korea was ruled by Soviet Russia after World War II and was subjected to their ideas, which are still present in its economy today. An example of this influence is the Juche ideology.
How has the ideology of self-reliance affected North Korea's economic relationships with developed and developing countries? To answer this, we dug a little further into the past and compared North Korea to other self-reliant countries.
North Korea's want to be entirely self-reliant within their economy is extremely detrimental to it, and they're going to see quite a few failures, probably pretty soon. For example, China had wanted to be self-reliant in the 1800s, which led them to fall behind in their technological process and made it extremely easy for them to become manipulated by more powerful countries in the West. And North Korea isn't doing much trade, specifically with technology or innovation, and they choose to close themselves off instead. There is a similar fate waiting ahead for North Korea as we had seen with China, because the majority of trading that North Korea is doing is more imports than exports by a drastic amount, which can simply be put down to North Korea is spending more money on foreign goods than foreign goods are on getting North Korean products, which is just a downfall that will see a crash in the economy probably soon. There's also a famine in the 1900s that had affected the entire North Korean population because North Korea had refused to receive any help from other nations. And the food shortages and the amount of people that had died during this famine could have easily been avoided had North Korea decided to not be self-reliant. So the want to be self-reliant that North Korea has is extremely detrimental to their economy and will see some pretty bad results with.
The answer to our question was satisfactory because it showed data from similar past events which proved why North Korea's Juche ideology of self-reliance is and continues to be a bad idea. Some strengths. North Korea is highly controversial and constantly under critical eye, which means there are many resources picking apart North Korea's every public move. However, the fact of how secretive North Korea is with its actual data and what happens in the government remains to be a limit to our answer. Other questions this led to were, how would global trade be affected if North Korea didn't have the ideology of Juche and had a regular trade with countries? And what would happen if China suddenly decided to close off its exports to North Korea?